Hey everybody, good morning. Joel Rico here with the Language of Agreement and a little weekly update for you. Again, it's my intention every week to give you a little tool, something you can put into place right away. So this week, I thought a very powerful tool would be one of the techniques to help extinguish upset. So, we've all had this before. If you're like me in real estate and you maybe occasionally call an expired, you've probably run into some upset people. Or if you're calling for sale by owners, some of them are upset. Maybe it's your own client. Maybe it's a listing that hasn't sold. Maybe it's somebody who doesn't want you to call them at 8 o'clock in the morning. At some point, being in sales, at some point, we run into some upset where somebody's, unhappy and it's being aimed at you. So today we're going to take on the fastest, the most guaranteed, the most sure way to extinguish that. So stay tuned. Here we go. It'll be just a few minutes. First of all, let's consider what is upset. What causes upset? In most cases, it's somebody feels like they're not being heard. Your children do this. They speak their mind and they don't get their way, or they feel like they're not being heard. They escalate. They increase their volume. They still don't feel like they're being heard. They're not getting their way. They increase their volume again. Eventually, they yell and scream and pound their fists on the floor and throw a full-blown temper tantrum. They throw a fit. Why? They feel like they're not being heard. So what if we take that knowledge that upset is usually the response of not being heard, and we apply that to the sales process? So that's thing number one. Realize that's where the upset comes from. And then thing number two, what is our normal, natural, organic response when somebody that you know and love and care about, one of your friends, when one of your friends is having some challenge, and one of your friends is having some upset, and one of your friends is having some difficult thing, and they're upset, not at you, not at me, but they're just upset. You call your friend, hey man, what's going on? I just wanted to say hi and see if you want to have lunch. And they say, oh my God, I got this tax bill. Oh crap, you're not going to believe what they did to me. Rah, 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 rah. Right? And they're all upset, right? It's not you. You just happen to be at the right place at the right time. So what's your normal response? What would you normally do there? The easy answer is take their side, right? Don't we, for the people that we know and love and trust, don't we just automatically take their side? You call your friend and they're all upset because they got a big tax bill. You don't say, oh, suck it up, you make plenty of money. That just ticks them off more, right? Don't we say, oh God, I know that's horrible. The IRS does that to me too. It's terrible the way they do that. Don't you just automatically take their side? And then reverse the roles and put yourself in those shoes, right? You have some upset and you're speaking to somebody and you're catharting your upset and you're complaining and, oh my God, I can't believe this and this is horrible and that's terrible and they did this. And if the person listening to you says, look, you're just taking it all wrong and you don't know what you're talking about, doesn't that make you more upset? So what is it that has you feel heard and validated? It's when the other person says, I know that's terrible. Like, oh my God, I get it. I see why you're so upset. This is a horrible thing. Like, just the simple act of taking their side is the thing that extinguishes the upset. All right? And then we know they're upset because they feel like they've been wronged or they haven't been heard or whatever. So if we use this in the realm of business or lead generation or in sales, how would this show up? Again, take their side. Repeat back what they said so they get that you heard them. And then take their side. Now, I might not agree 100% with they pay too much in taxes or it's too early in the morning. I might not agree with that, but I still want to take, oh my gosh, I know how that is. I can totally empathize with that. I can appreciate being woken up in the morning. I can appreciate getting that giant bill and having your budget thrown off base. So start by taking their side. Remember, our number one goal is how do we get connected? How do we get, tuned in such that we're listening to them and they're listening to us? Remember, our job here is you're a professional communicator. Your job is to get connected with people because that's where progress is made. So back to the example. Let's say, for example, that you are Let's say you're calling for sale by owners, and the for sale by owner is all upset. Oh my gosh, you realtor's been blowing up my phone, and like blah, 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 right? And they're all upset. Now, are they upset at you? Maybe not a tiny bit, but really they're upset about all the other people that were rude to them before you called. You just happen to be in the right place at the right time. So they're upset at realtors in general, salespeople in general. You're a salesperson. You have two choices. You can take it personally and protect and defend yourself. Well, that wasn't me. I didn't call you yesterday, and I'm a good guy. I'm trying to help. And the more that you take on the defensive posture, the more you're encouraging their offense, right? A strong defense encourages an offense. So I don't want to take the defense. That has me validating their offense. Instead, I want to validate them and say, oh my gosh, I know it's terrible. There's a lot of realtors out there doing that to people. I'm so sorry you had to deal with those people. Okay, what did I do? I just took their side. I demonstrated that I heard them, and I took their side. When I take their side, they run out of gas. Oh, wow, thanks, right? There's nothing for them to push against. The moment I start defending myself, oh, come on, those agents are trying to help you. The moment I start defending myself, they have more platform. They have more fuel to attack. I want to remove that fuel. I want to just simply take their side. All right, what does that sound like? Say you're calling an expired, and they say, what's going on? Where were you when my house is on the market? Now my phone's ringing off the hook, right? And they're all upset. Again, take their side. Oh my gosh, you should be upset. God, if my house is on the market for 6 months and didn't sell, I'd be mad too. You should be mad. Notice from taking their side, there's no more wind in their sails. They have no more ammunition to throw at you. You heard them. You're on their side, and what happens here is they subconsciously realize you are an ally. You're not one of those people trying to steal from them. All of a sudden, you're an ally simply from taking their side. What else? Let's say it's your client. Let's say it's a buyer that you've shown them several properties, and they've written a few offers, and they're getting outbid, and they're doing all this legwork, and they're not getting the property they want, and they're all upset. Again, take their side. I know, it's crazy, but this is what's happening in the. It's crazy that you've lost these deals, and you've made strong offers, and the fact that these people are bidding even stronger than strong. I mean, isn't that a sign that the market's doing that well, right? So before you try to steer anybody or solve the problem, always take their side first. So when you run into upset, our number one goal is to extinguish the upset, demonstrate that you're an ally, and get connected. Then from here, from being connected, then anything's possible. Then we can connect, we can talk about solutions, we can use one of the other, dozens and dozens of techniques that are in the Language of Agreement workshop to handle the objection, convert them, generate a new agreement, whatever that is. Remember, when you find an upset, your number one goal is to take their side, extinguish the upset, demonstrate yourself as an ally. So I hope that you can put this into play right away. I'm not wishing that you're going to run, whoops, my clock just fell over. Not wishing that you're going to run into a lot of upset people this week, yet when you do, take this on as a tool and see how it works for you. If this was remotely helpful for you, then consider the benefit of 12 weeks of live, interactive, live telephone training where we take on this and dozens of other tools such that no matter what shows up in your world, you have the tools and the techniques to get connected. If they're sad, if they're upset, if they're miserable, if they're angry, if they have objections you've never heard before, you will have the tools to handle any one of those scenarios. So if you haven't been to the website already, please go check out thelanguageofagreement.com. Our next workshop starts on April 10th, which is just a couple of weeks away, and I hope to see you in the live training. I think that's it. Feel free to comment on here, and I'll get back to you, and would love to interact with you. And remember, my goal for you is everybody that you run into becomes a client. Everybody that you run into has an issue. They have a need. They're going to buy or sell with somebody. Why not you? So that's it for this week. Have a great one. Again, if you haven't been to the site, please go to thelanguageofagreement.com and you can see all the details for the full workshop. Until next time. Go make a difference in the world. We'll see you soon.